We are a little late coming in. I was trying to gather some information for you before starting this broadcast. There's not a lot going on with cryptocurrencies, as you've noticed. We did have a Netanyahu basically ending the ceasefire and firing upon Iran. I guess he saw an opportunity where it was needed. And we're expecting a bit of a downturn in the markets. We didn't get that, so we are not doing too bad. So yes, I'm Will, your host of the SHIB 50/50 raffle. Unfortunately, we did not sell any tickets in the last 24 hours, so we have a carryover to the next day. That's right, we do carryovers. If we don't sell 21,000 tickets, we have a carryover for the next day. So you can see that. Value, right? SHIB drives capitalism. Then we have the golden goose down there at the bottom of my right-hand side. Might be your left, depending on how you're looking at it. And the golden eggs. Now, how do we get those golden eggs? Anyone have any idea? The golden goose is only part of the problem, part of the solution, right? The other part is to get the golden eggs. Now, in order to get the golden eggs, there has to be a reduction. So there has to be a reduction mechanism in place to get those golden eggs. So we're going to go over some of the characteristics. We did this before. We did a different segment on it, different twist, but same kind of institutional involvement as you might be aware of or might not be aware of, depending on what your catalyst for driving any of the cryptocurrencies. Now, we don't like to knock other cryptocurrencies. I'm sure they have their place. Some of them have definite possibilities for what they're trying to do. A lot of people like other cryptocurrencies. They don't necessarily like SHIB, SHIB, or Shiba Inu. Ooh, let's see here. I gotta download this. Sorry about that. You gotta download this. And then I gotta go into tonight's segment. So yeah, we are unfortunately not able to host a 50/50 raffle. I know that everybody is looking forward to hosting a SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle, which is absolutely would be amazing because we would get us there a lot faster and get us very lucrative. Why? Well, one, we take away from everyone else being able to obtain it. That's one. Two is the driving force behind it, and then of course the volume from all the exchanges that are currently holding SHIB. And I was trying to get a markdown on exactly how many exchanges are hoarding SHIB on their own. Now, unfortunately, we're not able to find out very much about it because it's extremely hard to, as what's the word? As transparent as crypto is very transparent. They can find out a lot of information based on the numbers that you've given and then how many transactions that were occurred through that. But when you're talking about exchanges, they have the ability to write as many wallets as they seemed or deem fit to on their servers. So they can do a lot of information, but they have to put money into each of those wallets in order for it to have any solidification. Does that make any sense to anybody? I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody. But yeah, what we're about to do is talk about that information to you and hopefully address any concerns that you might have when it regards to why SHIB is considered one of the best currencies in the world. Well, I consider it the best currency in the world, but I don't know what you. And then how do I change your mind? How do I bring awareness to you through SHIB? And is there anything I can say or do that would give you that insightfulness or that address so that you can go forward and do your own research, do your own due diligence, and come up with the same conclusion that I have? Or yours is a little different. Maybe you want to do something different with it. Sorry about this. I'm just going to type in a couple things here for addresses. Capital being added. That's where I put that. I put it in gallery. God, I hope not. So if anyone's out there, make sure you do a big wave. Yesterday, what I did was I did a segment to prove a point. I went on EV Musk on my live broadcast, and I tried reaching out to everybody. I had 4 people come on to my channel, as opposed to 300 through the mobile. So a lot of people don't like the mobile because it's elongated. It's mobile. It's elongated, and I'm still having problems with the website, guys. I'm so sorry about the website. Apparently, it's not mobile friendly. It's okay for desktops. It's okay for your iPad, but it's not okay for the phone. 98% of everybody that comes on is through the phone. Even the guys I have that I'm going to be sending links to the web to emails to keep the clarification is same problem. Small, right? Got to have a laptop or which I'm probably pretty sure that anyone who wants a job with us, make sure you put your name in and come into the channel every single night so that we can possibly set you up if you want a job working with the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 network. How it works is you have to verify wallet addresses. There's obviously going to be a disclaimer, and it's going to be that all information is kept secret, and that you destroy information that you get for that night after the raffle is completed. That you destroy all your information, that you delete. That's your promise, right? You don't keep any of that information. That information, it can be found on our website, and it can be found on when you log back into the account. It'll still be there for 7 days. Every 8 days is a rollover, so it goes back to this first. We do keep a track of the amount of reductions that we do, of course, because that's our integrity. Also, our integrity is that we pay people out accordingly. And everybody, if you don't respond within a certain period of time, we will be sending that money straight to the wallet that was sent to that person, right? We ask for clarification, make sure that this is where you want it sent. But if you don't respond in a certain amount of time, we are sending it to you anyway, because we cannot wait 2 or 3 days. People get a little annoyed that we're not burning SHIB. They'll be like, oh, that's a hoax. Yeah, but if we don't hear back from you, we talked to Jason Cox, we talked to Prince Williams, I talked to Mark Anthony, I talked to whoever's on, and I say to them, listen, I brought them forward. We're talking about this. We can't get a hold of you. We tried 3 times, okay, through 3 different sources, your email, phone calls, sent you a text message, because most of them are going to be text messages, or Facebook, or Skype, or Messenger, WhatsApp. Any one of those avenues that you gave us permission to contact you with, and you can't respond, we are going to send you the money that was sent to us from that wallet address, so that everybody understands that, right? We're going to give you 3 or 4 opportunities. We're going to make within 10 minutes. So whatever we can get a hold of you in 10 minutes, saying, listen, you won, but we need you to clarify and specify which way you want to get paid, right? How do you want to get your money? How you want to get your SHIB? So we'll transfer it, no problem, to the wallet address that we have on file that you sent us. We can do that. because it's on our invoice. So that we're able to do that for you. Okay, that's a heads up on the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle, so everybody understands that. Because I understand some people can't come online during that time. They forgot all about the raffle. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry that we can't provide you with the information at this time. They're in the washroom. Anything's possible, right? Like 7 minutes, 8 minutes is not enough time. Hopefully they're on the exact same time that we're on. So if there's any breaks or anything like that, then we can all wait. I mean, what's waiting, 20 minutes, use the washroom, come back out, get refreshed, and then give us the information that we require and then do the burns. But you have to understand something. We cannot do these things if there's a lot of winners, right? We just move on to the next person. We'll come back to you. But everybody has to get their SHIB before we start reductions. Because there's a reason why we do it that way. Because we want to make sure that everybody's happy, that we didn't do anything to upset you, right? Because we want to make sure that flow, right? Got to make sure that flow is going, because not everybody's going to win. But everybody wins in the burn. Every single person that takes part in the raffle wins. But the people who are mostly going to be upset are the people waiting for the burn, right? It's nice to see the burn because then they can see it right away. Within 2 or 3 minutes of it, of us sending it to it, we're going to see it on the SHIB burn portal or SHIB burn. It's going to show up there instantly. There's our wallet address and there's the burn amount. And people are looking forward to that because it's going to be extremely high, right? The minimum right now is 600 million. Can you believe that? 600 million SHIB sent to the dead end wallets. Like, where do you see that? And it's going to, like, you see the 1 billion every once in a while. You see, but this is going to be constantly, right? Like every day. That's what we're saying. That's why we want everybody to understand what that means for every single person on the planet. That awareness, that driven factor. Now, we're going to talk about the SHIB drives capitalism as our main topic of conversation. Value evaluation, SHIB versus real estate and financial markets. So, what's the difference between SHIB and real estate? Is real estate a guarantee, guys? Okay, well, if you buy a piece of property in the desert, it's probably not going to do very well. Because unless it's in a place where there's a lot of gold or opportunity for oil or opportunity for a massive mineral find, chances are you're probably not going to be able to sell your property for very much, at least probably the same amount that you paid for it, unless you overpaid for the property in the first place, where someone told you it was on a gold mine or thereabouts. So you have to, location is the focus for land. So if you're close to a beachfront property or you're at a beachfront property, chances are your house is going to be worth a lot more than if it were sitting on a mountaintop. Even though the view on a mountaintop is spectacular, but it's getting up there and down from there. Right. So it's the fall versus the rise, right? Tangible asset. Okay, real estate's tangible. Why? We often refer to SHIB as land. Any reason why we do that? Okay, land consistently adds value. Every single day that you own it, it gains in value. Or it should gain in value because it's real estate. Everybody wants it. Not everybody can afford to buy it. And not everybody can afford to pay taxes on it. So that's the other thing. So what's the difference between SHIB and real estate? Every time we reduce SHIB circling supply, it's like adding more land. And then somebody wants to sell that land for less money. That's on them. Okay? We said this before about certain products. If you don't want to do the research on it, and you just want to take it at face value that someone's going to sell it to you for, absolutely you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. It's your money. It's your money. But you take note. And learn from your mistakes, because a lot of what's going on, people did not learn from their mistakes. And we like to point these out all the time. Shibari made a huge mistake, right? They made a huge mistake. They're on a layer 2 blockchain. They could have separated from Ethereum and did their own thing and then created their own exchanges off of their platform and then use SHIB to reduce SHIB circling supply to add to their own value. They didn't do that. That was a mistake. Ethereum did the first mistake where they made a lot of money off of SHIB. They made a horrendous amount of money. He reduced 6.7 billion. He got back 40 billion. He could have taken 10%, 4 billion, roughly around the $28 billion market cap, reduced 4 billion of that $28 billion market cap, raised another between 60 and 70 billion dollars the next time around. Well, guess what the next time around would have done? Because now he's able to reduce 6 billion SHIB. Right? What's the market cap on that, right? So that would be what, 48 to 50 billion dollar market cap? Because they're not going to do it at the bottom, and they're certainly not going to do it at the top. So they're going to wait for a retraction. Hey, wait a second. It's coming down. It's coming down fast. We better start. And because we're losing our market share, we're going to start reducing another 6 billion. So after that, they do another 8 billion or 10 billion, depending on how much money they made. So 10%. So what's their risk tolerance is 10% on the profit that they've made. So is it much of a risk for them? No, not when they already know a history of it. When they see a pattern happening, they already know what's going to happen before it happens. So they're able to say, okay, well, we're going to make even more because the volume is going to continue to go up. There's going to be less supply. Boom. There's less supply again. Boom. Less supply again. Boom. Repeat. Once it catches on, everybody understands that concept, right? Everybody understands what it means that when you reduce the circulating supply, it increases what? More demand. Exactly. Drives up more volume. But that's the golden eggs. That's the golden eggs. The more you reduce, the more golden eggs you get because the price is going where? That's right. Green candles, baby, all the way. Everybody likes green candles, right? Green candle days mean I'm making money. I'm making a lot of money, right? Everybody wants that. Right now, we're undervalued by how much? We talked about this yesterday, day before that. 30595. That's right, 595. That's 30595. We are a long way from 595. 30595 when we're sitting at 401169170. And basically today was a flat day. We had over 40 trillion SHIB moved, and we gained nothing. We basically flat. How is that possible? We gain more wallet holders on Ethereum. Yay! But is that a good news or bad news? We don't know. Matt. Great question, Matt. Great question. So why is SHIB undervalued? Okay, so do you know anything about a SHIBarium? SHIBarium was supposed to change SHIB forever. It was supposed to reduce SHIB circling supply constantly, without fail. As long as SHIBarium remained what? Yeah, you remember SHIBarium. So SHIBarium was supposed to burn SHIB. Massive amounts of it, right? When it came out, it was going to do all these amazing things for SHIB. And one disappointment after another from the ecosystem development team. They continuously lie to the SHIB holders. And they took away the gas fees just before they released it. I might add. They took away it and they gave it to who? Bone. Right. Their own token. Right. But they didn't have enough Bone. What did they do? They minted a whole bunch of Bone. So the people who own Bone got screwed because the liquidity went way down. But, hey, wait a second. We're going to burn Bone. What? Yeah, because Bone's going to be the new gas token on SHIBarium. Great. What did they do right away? Hard fork it. What is a hard fork? Does anyone know what a hard fork is? Right. You take 4 divisions of the same blockchain to reduce the price. Yeah, that's right. That's a hard fork. Okay? So each one of the 4 split from 1 to 4. So it reduces the price. Well, that does a lot for investors, right? That tells you right there. It's not a 2 to 1, it's a 4 to 1. So, so how many times did they do that? 3 times. How much money? They started with $1, and then it went to a quarter. Yeah, like a stock split. That's right, Matt. That's exactly what they did. And how many times did they do it? They did it 3 times. To save face, because the influencers were really smart. What they did was they started this. If the price remains the exact same, they would have to increase the amount of volume on Shibarium by trillions, not billions, not millions, trillions, in order to start the accumulation toward the 15,000 USDT to burn SHIB. And it was supposed to be a button. Remember this button? Easy button. You go on to the SHIB.io to increase what? Volume on their website to reduce SHIB circulating supply with this easy button. They didn't even start the easy button. They took it they took it away. They didn't even give it to us. They just teased us with it. And you wonder why we have a problem trusting them. I mean, what was it? Eternity was same thing, same problem with Eternity. Oh, this game is going to come out. We're going to burn SHIB with it. Right. So Shibarium did burn. Okay, 56 billion SHIB. We'll get right to the point, Matt. Shibarium did burn 56 billion SHIB, but it took 3 months. Remember this? 3 months. November, December, and January. So November 2023, December 2023, and January 2023. And Lucy made a big statement. Remember this big statement that Lucy made? Came out in January, end of January? No, sorry, February. Came out in the first week of February. I told you, burns don't mean anything. Remember that statement? Lucy, part of the development team. She's part of the, what is it? Investor relations. Remember that? She said, burns don't mean anything. See? We burned it. SHIB's price went down. Same thing happened with Black Buterin. Black Buterin burned 410 trillion SHIB. SHIB price drove down. That's because 50 trillion SHIB were given to India for relief. So I think they started liquidating it because they needed the money. And that makes sense, right? Everybody get that? It makes sense. But right after that, 4 months after that, we had the biggest run in history. We had a 72 million% increase in SHIB's price. Everybody remember that? Took 4 months. Hey, look, Shibarium did the exact same thing. March 3rd. 5x your money. 5x. In less than 14 days. Woo! Why? Well, some people will say it's because of BTC got their ETF. But they already had it promised back when. And they started their run in BTC. But BTC went up and Bitcoin and SHIB was starting to go down. Because Bitcoin was still rising in April. But SHIB was going down. No more burns. Right? Shibarium didn't follow through. If they would have followed through with more burns, we would have seen more volume increases. And if Shibarium and the ecosystem team were smart, they would have realized their mistake back then and made a deal with Robinhood or Crypto.com or Binance saying, listen, give us some royalties here. We're going to burn a massive amount of SHIB and you're going to reap the rewards because you're sitting on such a massive amount of it. You're going to make so much money. Can you please give us some kickbacks? royalties towards it. But no, they could have went to every single one of them and asked them, because that's the truth of it. All this volume was created. Like, it was massive, right? We were talking we're talking $5 to $6 billion in transactions a day. A day. For 43 days. You know how much money that is on each of the exchanges that all of them missed out on? Because any of them could have done the exact same thing. Hey, listen, we just made a crap load of money off of SHIB. How did we do that? And none of them went back to the drawing board and figured this out. Because if they did, they would have all of them started massive reductions in SHIB with 10%. Try to do a trial period, burn 10%, see if it takes 4 more months before people's psychology starts to work in them, saying, hey, wait a second, the light bulb just went off. We just reduced a massive amount of SHIB. Might want to start buying some more. Or buying into it. And exactly, would have drove more volume. More volume means more money, and then more reductions. And here's the best part. They get to write it all off on taxes. That's right, as a corporate loss. Like, it's just that simple. That they never caught on to it. And how do we know where the value of SHIB is? 5x, right? We went to 4 zeros, 5. Okay? On 56 billion SHIB removed. Okay, we all agree to that? We're going to say because it didn't close at that value, it went to that value, but it never closed at that value. It closed at 4.5. So 4 zeros, 4.5. It closed at. So 12 times that would be 695 billion SHIB removed. Right? 12 times that. Well, guess what? In 4 years, because everybody does the exact same thing, they all forget about what? The burns. No one keeps track of the burns, and that adds value. So I don't know why or how they missed it, or they missed that opportunity. So if we went up 56 billion SHIB was removed, and we went up 5 times, how much more could we have gone up if we reduced 694 billion SHIB? 12x from there. So that's how come we get that undervalue of where that value should be. Now we're trading at this value. We're trading here. The value's here. We're trading here. Now, how many companies do you know trade undervalue? How many? No problem, Matt. Glad I could help. That's how come we get that value. But the value's here. We're trading here. Okay? So are people that are invested in SHIB, that are selling SHIB smart? Not a chance. Not a clue. Clueless, we call it. Absolute cluelessness. But it gives everybody an understanding of where they could possibly put their money. Because everybody wants a discount. Like when you go to the grocery store, you go, you know what, I don't need this discount. I don't need it. Exactly. Warren Buffett, very smart man. Very smart man. He's always looking for assets undervalued. And you're talking SHIB is completely like blown away with undervalue. Like 50 times or 44 times your money right now? 44 times just to get to value. Okay? If we looked at Apple stock, does Apple trade at value? 1376? That's the value of Apple. And Apple's trading at 200 and something. Tesla. $6.75. Woohoo! $6.75. That's its value. That's what it's worth on the books. Does any of them trade at value? No, not a chance. What's NVIDIA's value? If you knew NVIDIA's value is the same as Netflix, you would be literally screaming bloody Mary for people buying it, right? Because it's like, are you kidding me? It's trading at 1100, and and its value is only $32 max. Its value is $32, and you're trading it at $1,100. Now you imagine SHIB trading it. That would be insane. That would be insane. But what would happen? And everybody has this misconception. Please understand that everybody has a misconception. Everybody says 500 trillion is too much circulating supply. This is true. But when you're talking stocks, not everybody can afford to buy an Apple stock. Just one Apple stock. They can't afford it. So a lot of people can't afford it. Then you have even less people who can afford an NVIDIA stock at $1,100 per stock. And then now they come out with, you can buy a fraction of a stock. You know where they got that from? Bitcoin. That's right. Granddaddy Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of a stock, which is awesome, right? You need that stock to go 3 times, 4 times before you make any money. Especially if you only put like $500 or $600 in it. Like you need that thing to go through the roof. Why would you want to do that when you can buy SHIB, who's 50x to get to value? Like it's at a massive discount to its peers. And they're like, well, if it goes that high, SHIB is going to have a higher market cap of Ethereum. Well, does Ethereum reduce its circulating supply? No. In fact, it works the opposite. Yeah, because it's proof of stake, right? Proof of work. Doge, perfect example. Doge is minting coins every single day. 10,000 Doge every single day. So is that gaining in value or devaluing? It's devaluing its currency. It's like governments printing more money. Everybody understands printing more money is bad. When you mint, it's the exact same thing. You're minting it, you're printing more money. Bitcoin prints more Bitcoin every single day. It's just that it doesn't print very many of them. It doesn't print one Bitcoin. It's printing a fraction of a Bitcoin per day. Like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of Bitcoin being printed every single day. Okay, so this is the one trick pony. It's going to be a very interesting concept for people. What happens is we don't know, Matt. We have no idea. It could happen tomorrow. Realistically, chances are not. What would we need to see? You can see you need to see a few little things happening to see this follow through. One is you need to see about 5,000 or 6,000 new wallet holders every single day. So you got me? Then you need to see massive buy-ins. So there's 2 things. A lot more people coming into SHIB and a lot more what? Liquidity. You need to see more money being moved around. Okay, once you have those 2 combinations happening, you have yourself a blast off, right? People are going to get stuck in the mud. Literally stuck in the mud. All the traders are going to be like this. Because they'll be like, what the hell just happened? Well, we had 5,000 or 6,000 being added every single day. Then we're getting billions of dollars being thrown at SHIB from whatever. It could be exchanges. Because they don't want to miss out on it. They don't want to miss out on it. When they see something, it's like Warren Buffett. They don't waste time. They just start pouring money into it. Now, do they sink everything all at once? No, they don't. It's nibble, nibble, nibble. But it's not a little nibble, it's a big nibble. Constantly being used for microtransactions. Constantly being used for microtransactions. Like you can see that right now. Like you don't see the price moving, but you do see it moving. Like right now in just 3 hours, we've moved 3.4 trillion SHIB. Massive love show to Rowena. like to buy stuff. Well, no one's going to be using their SHIB to buy anything. So the real world utility doesn't exist right now for SHIB. Real world utility won't start to about 50 to 75 cents. Then you're going to see some massive utility being used. But you're also going to see what, Matt? What's the other thing you're going to see, Matt? Massive volume. You're going to see people coming and going, but you're going to see massive volume. And you're going to see massive adoption from everywhere. Not just people buying it. You're going to have companies and organizations from all over the world because SHIB bails them out. So I was talking about retail the other day about what the difference is between buying an asset that's always constantly reducing its value, is constantly adding value to the people that are owning it. So it gives retail the ability to save themselves from bankruptcies or insolvency, because it gives them that extra money to get them through the next period. So they need the extra help. SHIB gives them that ability, but it can't bail everybody out. People have to understand this. It just doesn't have enough supply to bail them all out. And everybody going, well, it's got too much supply. You don't understand squat. I mean, if you took 5.3 billion people in the world, divide it by the supply, you're going to find out that that's only $2 or $1.43 USDT worth of SHIB right now. Like right now. That's the undervalue that everybody doesn't understand. They don't get it. And I wish they did, because you're betting that 5.3 billion people don't want to make money. That's what you're betting on when you're selling it at this price. You're hoping that you're going to be able to buy it lower. When you're betting against 5.3 billion people on the planet who don't want to make money. That's what you're betting against. That's a one hell of a gamble, if you ask me. Like, your odds, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're winning the lottery every single day if you're holding it SHIB. Not just because of the raffle. The raffle, all the raffle does is speed things up for us, the SHIB holders. That's all the raffle does. Everything else is going to fall into place really, really fast, because volume equals money. All the exchanges, volume equals money. Koi is even reducing SHIB on a constant basis, but it's only doing it by $2 to $3. But if you think about it, 20,000 cryptocurrencies available. They all started burning SHIB by $2.50 to $5. You're talking about the difference between $5 is 8 billion SHIB every single day being reduced. Now, right? Is that something to be proud of? Is that something that you can start to sink your teeth into, because you understand that, wait a second, $2.50 from every single cryptocurrency, that's 8 billion SHIB being removed every single day? Yeah, if the price were to remain the same. But we all know the price is going to go down when they start burning that much. Why? Because the psychology has not hit them. The light bulb does not go off. It should go off instantly. Like ding, 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 ding. Time to get in. Time to get in. Nope. It's a wait and hold kind of aspect of it. Believe it or not, that's the truth. This is what happened before. It's exactly what happened before. It happened twice, right? Like, history does not kid you. It literally, and then we have to wait 4 months. Yeah, but once it's constantly reducing it, people are starting to panic now. There's panic mode, because, hey, wait a second, it's just reduced. $250 billion SHIB has been reduced so far. If we don't jump in now, I'm guaranteeing you're not going to be able to jump in later thinking it's going to go down. It's continually going to go up. So what happens is everybody starts to FOMO in, because they have no choice. And they're willing to pay, like, get a load of this, 70 to 80 times more than where it's at right now. That's the mentality of it. They love it when it's going up. Everybody loves stuff going up. I don't know why, but they do. And they all want to jump in once it's moving up, because you go, well, I'm making money, and I'm not going to ride it forever. Well, in SHIB's case, everybody can ride it forever. You just got to have really good guts. Everybody's ready for it to go up, Matt. I'm waiting. I'm ready. I don't know if my heart can take it, but we'll see. We'll keep pushing the envelope, right? Better to go off. Yeah, you just put me in a coma. Wait 2 years and see what happens. Right? That's the bottom line for SHIB. What else do we want to talk about? We want to talk about real estate. We want to talk about capitalism. See, there you go, Matt. We always tell everybody the same thing. Please take this with a grain of salt. Okay, we're not your financial advisors. We're not your brokers. We don't know your financial situation, so we can't possibly tell you. If you do want to get into SHIB, we do suggest you dollar cost average in, use it like a lottery ticket, buy it as a lottery ticket. So whatever you spend on a lottery ticket, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, that's what we recommend that you put in. So if you're putting $5 a week, right, exactly, Matt. If you're putting $5 a week, that's all you stick into SHIB. We recommend that you wait until you have $10 to $15. That would be 3 weeks before you start buying SHIB, because there are fees associated with it. You don't want to get zoned out on fees. If you're in the States, highly recommend Robinhood because of the low fees. And they are hoarding massive amounts of SHIB. Everybody, all my friends in Asia, OKX is your go-to currency, go-to exchange. Because, again, same thing, they're hoarding enormous amount of SHIB. Binance, same idea, but Binance is expensive. It's the granddaddy of exchanges. So yes, your money is safe in Binance. It's expensive because of that security feature that's on Binance. It's 100% secure. So if there's ever instance where they ever get taken out or hacked, they guarantee their money. They guarantee their cryptocurrencies. And see, there you go, Matt. So did I, Matt. Right? We jumped in. I bought twice as much as I normally would because of you can't believe people are that naive that they don't see the writing on the wall. It's just insane. Like we said before, if you're only worried about the $5 on Sunday, you got it. Sell off Sundays, put your money to work for yourself, and always buy on Sunday. Roughly around noonish. We usually get a spike up in around supper time. So usually we get a run. It's not much of a run, guys. And Mondays are scary. Mondays can go either way. Mondays can take off, or they could start a little bit of a drag. But normally, right after noon, sell off Sunday. Matt, I have no idea why in the world people sell off on Sunday. It just works out that way. Like we start selling off on Friday because of what's going on in the world. We have a little bit of a buyback on Saturday. Always works this way for some silly reason. We have a little bit of a buyback on Saturday, and then by Saturday night we have a sell-off. And it continues on through Sunday. And then in the afternoon to late evening, there starts a buy-in. So you don't want to be buying when everybody else is buying. You want to be buying when everyone else is selling. So because you're buying it at the lowest possible level. So that's why we suggest, listen, buy it on Sunday. You're only buying a lottery ticket's worth because you don't want to go all in because we don't know. We just don't. It could take off. That's absolutely correct. It could also come down. And you want to be able to buy more when it drops even lower. That's for preparation for yourselves. Well, you know what next weekend's like, right? Next weekend's even worse because we have U.S. holiday, Canada holiday. We got the July 1st and July 4th, right? Same week. So usually there's like zero trading on the exchanges during that week. This is why they have that big thing about May's liquidity. for those that are in, what the hell is it? Not solid assets. So anything in commodities is usually a sell in May and go away. Same thing in cryptocurrency. Follows somewhat of a trend line with technology, but not always. Depends on what's going on in technology. Like right now, Tesla is coming out with a new product. They're saying it's going to be better. And they got their first test of their autonomous taxi driving in Texas. So their stock is not bad, right? $327 from 150, where I was shorting it when it was 225, all the way to 150, and then I started buy in at 150 to 175, and then I sold it. And I haven't bought it since because I'm like, I just can't see myself buying something that's that overvalued. Like it was at that time, Matt or everybody in the world, at that time, Tesla's value was like $3.61, and it's trading at $175. Then you start looking around, you start to see everyone else is pretty much the exact same boat. Microsoft is trading at like an insane amount compared to what it's making. Same thing with Netflix. Like Netflix is $36. Like that's insane, right? It's trading at like 700. Like holy, how can you justify that? Like that's insane. And then you got SHIB. We're not even at value. We're just not even at value. That's the thing. No, the value of Tesla is at $3.61. I was shorting it at over 200, and then I shorted all the way down to 150. And then I bought it and I left it in there until it got to 175, and then I sold it. But the value, that's what I'm saying. Like the value of Tesla is $3.61. And now it's at 675. So it's doubled. And where's Tesla gone? Doubled. Went from 150 to over 300. So that's what I'm saying. The value is here for Tesla. Value is here, and the price is here. Right? SHIB is the value is here, price is here. So just to get the value, we have 50x. Woohoo! 50x. How fast can it get there? Very fast, especially if we have more money piling in from different exchanges. Absolutely. Because that's where the power is going to come from, because the volume drives the price. So they're looking at making as much money as possible by driving in that volume. How do they get the volume? By exploiting SHIB. Then everybody starts to pile into it because they're going to start doing what with it? Reducing it from every single transaction, not just SHIB's transactions, all the exchanges that are doing business with them, because it's going to increase what? More volume. More volume means more money. More money means more reductions. Then more money. Repeat. Caregiver Watson. Hi, Watson. That's exactly what that means. So that's that snowball effect. Then we get to see the domino effect, which is what everybody's waiting for, the big domino effect. Because then you're going to see SHIB just explode. Just explode. Because the snowball effect gets the ball rolling, but the branch of 20,000 cryptocurrencies burning massive amounts of SHIB, even $10 a day, and all of them can afford $10 a day to burn SHIB, is 16 billion SHIB per day. 16 billion SHIB per day. And that's just from who? Cryptocurrencies. That's it. That's all. That's it. $10 a day from each and every single one of them. Over 20,000. So you do the math. That works out to over 16 billion SHIB reduced every single day. Now, why would they do that? It's a write-off for them because it's corporate loss. So they get to write that off. And it's giving them what? More dollars in their pocket. So they're gaining about 100 for their $10 that they're reducing. They're gaining about $100 in profit. That's right. That's a jaw dropper. Everybody should know about that. Every single person on the planet should know about it. Every cryptocurrency should be buying it. Massive amounts of it, and then reducing it. And are they reducing their own? No, they're hoarding it. They're not reducing their own. They're getting paid from everybody buying and selling on their exchange, right? Well, no, cryptocurrencies aren't. Cryptocurrencies are making money because it's driving up the price of SHIB, which is also driving up the price of their currency. It's solidifying their currency through SHIB. I'm shocked. I'm baffled, Matt and Watson. None of them are doing it, except Koi and Binance and a few others. Robinhood hasn't started burning SHIB, which is scary because they're sitting on so much SHIB right now. They're sitting on a lot of Shiba Inu token. We don't like to call it a token because it's a currency. So that's why I call it SHIB currency. I don't like to call it a coin because it's not really a coin. It's a digital asset. The people haven't realized what it is yet, but it's a massive digital asset that no one knows about. Very few people know about it. The world needs to know about it. The faster they know about it, the faster we make money. That's the truth of it, because you want 5.3 billion investors sinking their teeth into SHIB as quickly as possible. Can you imagine 5.3 billion people putting $10, $15 in a SHIB daily? What that would mean? Now, I'm not saying they would do it all at once, but they would be doing it in periods. Like every payday, there's $5, $10 going into SHIB. There's not enough money in the world, right, to buy it all? No, that's the point. Everybody can afford $5 per payday. That's the whole point. Mark Anthony's in the house. Fellow shibbers. That's right. That's right. So we were talking about investment strategies. We're talking about the rise of SHIB compared to world financial markets, which will dominate pretty much everything that we know. What else do I want to talk about? Stocks and dividends. Anyone who loves dividends? Who loves dividends? Who loves share buybacks? Anybody? Nobody? Everybody likes dividends? What's a dividend? It's where a company, or mostly it's in real estate, they give you a big piece of the pie. So like 80 to 90% of everything that they do is real estate, and then they make money and then they give it back to the investors. Okay. What does SHIB do? It burns it. What do you get back in return? More value. Pretty simple stuff. And it's common sense. So you're getting paid to stay. Yeah. Every time there's a reduction in SHIB circulating supply, every single one of us is getting paid to stay in it. Awesome, Matt. Awesome. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's exactly it, Matt. Use my dividends to pay for my SHIB. Some dividends pay quarterly. Those that get more money on their liquidity is usually on quarterly dividends. Not necessarily. Share buybacks. Everyone know what share buybacks are? Everybody loves share buybacks, right? SHIB does share buybacks constantly. Almost every single day you're getting buybacks. And it's at market. Majority of it's at market. Right? Reduction, reduction, reduction. Every time we have a reduction, you're getting paid to stay. So you're getting paid to stay in SHIB. People haven't figured it out yet. It just baffles me. I don't know about you, but it absolutely baffles me. You're selling your SHIB for less money than it's worth. Are you a nut? That's like saying, "Hey Matt, how much is your property that you're on right now? How much is your property worth?" You're going to sell that at a 55% discount. Not 55%, 55 times discount. So if your property is worth $100,000, you're going to sell for 5? Well, that's 20x less discount. Yeah, that's 20x. Well, they're selling their SHIB for 50x. That's not good. No, it's not good. And the math doesn't work out, right? People just don't get it. And that's what we're trying to bring awareness to. The tax benefit, Mark Anthony, tax benefit to SHIB. So for us, individually, we don't really get that tax benefit until SHIB does what? 100x. Then there's going to be a tax exemption to it. We talked about this before. What that means to every single person is you want to be smart about pulling money out of your SHIB. So whatever you owe in taxes, you have two choices. Move it to a ledger or cold storage. Take the cold storage with you. Go to Dubai. Dubai is, I love Dubai. They're willing to take you in. Please don't bring any marijuana or drugs. Even if you have a prescription, you're going to get stopped. You're not allowed to take it. It's illegal. So please keep that in mind. But you go to Dubai, they're more than willing to give it to you, all your money, as long as you shop in Dubai. I get it all. You get it all because they want your money, because you're going to have to pay for hotels. You're going to have to buy, if you want, you have to buy real estate, or you'll have to stay there for a little while. Your flight, everything, you're going to be paying for it out of your own pocket, and then you're using SHIB to buy whatever it is that you want to buy in Dubai. See how smart they are? They're welcoming you to go and spend your SHIB in Dubai, 100% of it. Now, there's a trick to it. You can't go back to your own country for a year. Dubai is willing to take you for a year because you're going to have to spend it for a year in Dubai. So the way to avoid paying taxes, if you want to stay in your own country, is to figure out exactly how much you're going to have to reduce of SHIB so that you don't have to pay taxes. So what you want to do is if it's 20% of the total supply for your capital gains, or if it's portion, like 30%, has to be taxed. So then you figure out what the 30% is that has to be taxed. 10%, 15%, 16%, 20% of that 30% that gets taxed. Then you figure out what that is, and then you reduce SHIB circling supply based on that. Make sense, everybody? Got it? So in Canada, it's 100%. So 50% to 50%, 50% of it's yours, 50% of it's taxed, no matter how long it's been in there for. So the guys in the States are laughing at Canadians because we're just silly, because they don't have the same. If it's in there for a year, they only pay 10% tax. So 10% is taxed on cryptocurrency. Yeah, that sucks. Exactly. So no matter how long it stays in cryptocurrency, it gets taxed 50%. That's retarded. Then 50% of that's taxed like 30%, depending on how much. And if it goes over a certain amount, they wanted to tax even more, but that didn't get passed. Thank God. But Mark Carney's in. God only knows. He probably reinstalled it without even thinking about it, because the other yo-yo was trying to get it passed, and he was using the NDP to do it, which never got through, thank God. But Mark Carney, he's a trickster. He likes to play with numbers with people, and then he gets them to sign off on it, not knowing what they're signing off on. He's a little smarter than the average bear, right? So he's a lot smarter than the other prime minister we had. So yeah, 50% of it, and then around 30% is taxable. So whatever that is, you take 30% of whatever, 50% of it, 30% that you have to pay taxes on, start reducing SHIB circulating supply with it. There's your loss. Once you have your capital loss, you can write that off against your capital gain. Don't pay taxes. You just help the whole SHIB community. Now, which one do you want to do first, right? You probably want to burn it before you sell it. Why? Any reason why? Anyone? Because it adds value to SHIB, which you are holding on to so you can make even more money. Now, do we recommend selling all your SHIB? Hell no. We don't recommend selling all your SHIB. You remember, you sell it all, you lose it all. Because we don't know when, and we don't know how many people, we don't know what's going to happen. But you got to remember this, 5.3 billion people, all of them want to make money. There's not a single one of them that don't want to make money. Once they find out about it, they're going to tell all their friends about it. So you really got to think about it a lot. Once they tell everybody, SHIB is going to explode. And it's going to explode with authority. That's why we tell you, whatever it is that you see it flying at, make sure you watch the signs. Watch for the wallet holders climbing into it. Watch the exchanges as the volume climbs. Once those volumes start to exceed a certain point, like 400 trillion to 500 trillion in circulating supply, that's almost the whole supply trading hands on a daily basis. That is your ticket to knowing where your financial freedom just took off to a new level. Because you're going to see what? Every single one of them, every single one of the exchanges, every single company in the world start to buy SHIB. And with every single transaction, they're going to start doing what with it? Reducing the circulating supply. Because it will have caught on by then. Reducing circulating supply actually gives me my money back. 10-fold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. It doesn't take long before they realize I'm making money burning it. Not just getting money back from the government. I'm actually making money burning it. I'm going to continually burn it. And that's the domino effect, because you'll have all these companies doing the exact same thing. No, Mark is not in the EU. Matt. I'll stay down in the U.S. Well, U.S. has got a good cryptocurrency policy. Yeah, I know. He's like me, stuck in Canada until we can get this SHIB going. We'll probably both be in Dubai drinking margaritas on the sand. We can't stay there long though, right? Right, Mark? We got to move around. But as soon as we go in there, we can transfer our money to pounds. That's the beauty of Dubai, right? And we can go anywhere. SHIB, you can go anywhere too, right? Just that got to be careful with third world countries. Moving SHIB around is not exactly easy. You have to form bank accounts and move it. Matt, you're retiring in the Philippines too. Wow. Why? we're all hey, I'm retiring there too, but only 6 months out of the year. I'm going to Singapore for the other 6. Just kidding. See, there you go. $50, right? 50 to 1. That's like Jason Cox. 55 to 1. It's 55 right now, Mark Anthony. 55 to 1. Can you imagine? 55 to 1. You know what's even better? India. 80 to 1. For US, I think it's closer to 100 to 1. Close to 100 to 1. Don't even talk to me about Vietnam. Vietnam is like insane, right? You're talking difference between night and day. Yeah, my wife is Filipino too, Matt. That's awesome. The brotherhood. That's right, the brotherhood. Yeah, my wife is Filipino too. But we can't survive there after April. After April, the weather changes. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You can't survive there. It's just, the heat is just killer. There was a chicken. We had a chicken. She laid 12 eggs. and we lost them all. And she gave birth to them in April. Um, the 10th or 12th of May, all gone, all dead. The humidity, 54 degrees. So unless you like it hot, like hot, yeah, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. The beach is even hot, for heaven's sakes. The water is even hot in the Philippines, which is absolutely nuts. Um, but I love the Philippines. The Philippines is a beautiful country. Just beautiful. You can't get anywhere where you're on the beach constantly. Yeah, no kidding, eh? That's why they have lots of palm trees. And they stick all the pigs under those palm trees, eh? Oh, you're moving to the mountains in the Philippines? Well, it's safer there. You got water. That's always a good thing. Always have water. Mountains is hot too, though, and you have to watch out for landslides. So, and that's a little prenup for everybody that's looking at going to the Philippines. If you're going to the Philippines, I would strongly look into the capsule housing because it's quick, fast, and very affordable. $10,000. Come on, Matt. $10,000, 2-bedroom house. It comes with everything: your AC, furniture, kitchen, dinette with a stove. It comes with a shower. Yeah, like everything built in. For 25,000 US, 25 to 29,000 US, buys you a double decker. So if you're not on the beach and you're higher up in elevations, it gives you that extra outlook, which is fantastic, right? Everybody like just fantastic. Those houses are apparently can survive next to salt water for 50 years. Your lifetime, basically. The Ventura capsule housing. They're made in China. I know that's going to be like a what? No, but they ship anywhere in the world. So Philippines is right next door to China. So there's your house. And they can do it right off of a barge. So put it on to a truck, boom, wherever you want to put it. Hey, you like that? I was asking the wife about that. She's like, no, just give me the money and I'll build it. I said, okay. If you can build a house for 15, 16,000 US, because that's what they are, between 10,000 buys you a 2-bedroom capsule house with AC built in, kitchen, everything, shower, washroom, full kitchen, and furnished. Yay! You can't go wrong, right? I mean, for 10,000 US dollars, hello. You can't beat it, right? It's like, if you can build a house for that, honey, go right ahead. I seen the guys that build houses and they're made of straw, like literally just grass houses, which is nuts. But a lot of them, it doesn't look like a grass house. It looks like panel housing, but looks like it's really, really thin. Like you could literally put your foot through the wall. I don't know if you want to trust that or not. Capsule housing, it looks like it's got more sturdy. It's got metal. It's got a thicker coat of paint all around it. It's glass, a lot of glass. The second deck is all glass with the trim. You can put in an awning like that would be just absolutely nuts, right? In the Philippines, an awning all the way around with a mosquito net, right? So the mosquitoes don't come in. And then you could put two big master bedroom suites up there on the top deck, which would be just the cat's ass. Never heard that from me. The cat's meow. Thank you. So yeah, we're just waiting for SHIB to be united around the world. 5.3 billion people, and none of them can afford. Like, that's the insane part. Everybody says the exact same thing. It's just got too much supply. It's just got too much supply. Well, at the rate that it's at, no, it don't have enough. The thing is, where it should be isn't where it's at. And right now it's under a huge manipulation categorization from all the exchanges trying to absorb as much SHIB as possible. If you haven't noticed, Etherscan, I used to talk about Etherscan all the time because it was one of the catalysts that we used to use. Now we can't use it because I came out and talked to Vladimir Buterin, and right after that, as soon as I mentioned his mistake, where it cost him billions of dollars, they don't talk to me anymore. In fact, they shut down Etherscan. So you can't even go on Etherscan to find out any information, which you used to be able to do before, because it used to tell you who was holding the most, who's buying the most on the exchanges. Because there's like 30 exchanges that were buying up SHIB. Now you can't find that out on Etherscan. It just shut it down. And I blame it on myself. Sorry, guys. That's probably on me. Because I called them out saying, listen, if you would have continued the reduction in SHIB circulating supply, you know how much money you guys walked away from? They shut me out. Yeah, they literally shut me out. Because I don't think they like being told that they lost a lot of liquidity because they didn't reduce any SHIB circulating supply after they did the massive 410 trillion burn. They would have made they would have been right where Bitcoin was sitting, like 100,000, probably long before Bitcoin got there. That's the truth of it. There's so much money that they walked away from, and right now it's hard. It's going to be extremely hard for any of them to make anywhere near that anymore, because now SHIB is spread out over 240 to 270 exchanges. So for anyone to take dominance right now, it's going to be extremely difficult. Now, that being said, Robinhood's still the king. Okay, they say Binance has got the most. No. Binance only has 89 trillion. And last time I did the calculations, Robinhood was sitting at 122 trillion. And they've been accumulating slowly but surely. I blame it on BlackRock. BlackRock loves manipulation. They just love it. They want it all for nothing. And they don't care if it takes 3, 4, 5 years to get half of the supply, and then they can start a massive reduction. And are they going to reduce any of their supply? No. It's going to be everyone else's. You want to come into us and buy from us? No problem. But you understand that when you buy it and sell it, we're going to charge you 2 cents or 3 cents on every single exchange. It's going to the reduction of SHIB. They're not even going to say it to anybody until they already have it mapped out on exactly how they're going to do it. And that's when SHIB's going to go up to the roof, and they're going to start doing what? Pouring more SHIB onto the market and then reducing it. You got it. That's exactly what they're going to do. They got a plan for it all, right? So they're going to take dominance. They're going to be the ones holding the golden eggs and distributing the golden eggs to themselves. Yeah. Beautiful, huh? And they got it for a song and a dance. A song and a dance. Bitcoin, they did it too. Bitcoin went 5x on them. They did a beautiful thing. They manipulated it 3 times. They did a wonderful thing. They even took the last time it went to 107. They took money off the table saying that they're selling it. They already sold it. Waited for it to drop back down to 79,000, and then they started buying it. That's BlackRock for you. That's exactly what BlackRock comes out after they bought it, saying that we're buying it. Yeah, they're like Warren Buffett. Exact same cataclysmic idea. After they've bought it, we're buying it. No, you already bought it. No, we're buying it now. It's almost comical to watch, right? But it's not, because they're absolute 100% manipulating the price. Absolutely 100%. Exact same thing is happening in SHIB. Believe it or not, that's the bottom line. I'm Will, your host. It's been 74 minutes since we've come on to this live channel. I really appreciate everybody coming in. We're going to do massive love shout outs to Mark Anthony. Massive love shout out to Matt. Massive love shout out to Watson. Massive love shout out to Babe's channel. Massive love shout out to Wenna. Massive love shout out to Rowena. Massive love shout out to Jason Cox. Prince Williams, massive love shout out to you. Massive love shout out to Jason M. Massive love shout out to Ethan M. Massive love shout out to Aiden. Massive love shout out to Mariah. Massive love shout out to everybody I haven't talked about tonight that haven't come in and taken part in tonight's conversations. Massive love shout out to North America, South America. Massive love shout out to Africa. Massive love shout out to Europe. Massive love shout out to Asia. Massive love shout out to Antarctica. Massive love shout out to Australia. Every single person in the world needs to know about SHIB. Please follow through, share, and like the content if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Keep informed of what's going on. We like to keep you all in the loop. Yes, we did add more wallet holders, but only around 400 new wallet holders today. Like I said before, you need to watch that very carefully, because if it starts to add 5,000 to 6,000 per day, that's when you know things are moving in your general direction. You are starting to see the people starting to notice what reduction means and the value that's being added constantly through the reductions. So the reductions are something that every single one of the SHIB holders should be very, very concerned about. The most piece of information that we have is the catalyst, adoption, right? Worldwide adoption means every single person knows about it. That's dangerous. 5.3 billion investors all taking part in buying SHIB is absolutely where you want to be sticking your nose in to find out what's going on. And with the reductions coming up on the exchanges and the cryptocurrencies, you want to keep your eye on the ball on that one, because that's going to tell you what your utility, because that's the utility that's being implemented right now. Once SHIB gets over $1 USDT, then you're going to see real life utility take place, because you're going to be able to see people taking their profit, then reducing it because they're going to get smart about it, and those that are going to get even smarter are going to start leveraging it. We talked about that before, becoming a bank. And becoming a bank means that you're leveraging your SHIB just like gold. So you have your gold, sits in there as like a store of value, and then you borrow against that gold, because gold's going where? Up. But it doesn't always go up, because there's always more being mined every single day. So you have to keep that in mind. But with SHIB, it's constantly being reduced, because you know it's always going to be reduced. So if it's always being reduced, you can be guaranteed that if you borrow against it, tomorrow it's going to be worth how much more? 20 to 30% more. Well, that gives you 20 to 30% more liquidity. So if it's always being reduced and you have a store of value in it, and you're able to borrow against that, that means you can lend it out to other people, other organizations, to help them. And then when they pay it back, you take a portion of that, start buying more SHIB, because you don't care if they pay it back, because you can always borrow against it. But if you're buying more SHIB with it, you're always increasing your value. Then you're lending it out again, because you're borrowing even more money to lend it out to somebody else. That's the smart money, guys. That's the smart money. Anyway, I'm Will, your host of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Thank you for coming in and taking part in tonight's conversation. Absolutely enjoy every single one of you. Love yous all. Take good care. God bless each and every one of you. We always say John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son as a sacrificial lamb for every single person on the planet, so that they would understand what forgiveness and love is. Because Jesus gave us that. I forgive you if you come to me. The blood that was shed for you, for the forgiveness of your sin, so that you could have a spot in heaven. That is the truth of Jesus Christ. And that's what he came and he did for every single person on the planet. Didn't even know us, right? That was over 2,000 years ago. The message is still clear in everyone's hearts and minds today. Thanks be to Lord Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah? Amen. God bless each and every one of you. Peace out, everybody. Good night. God bless. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great, wonderful night. Peace out, everybody. Peace. Until tomorrow, we'll